There's more to these northern lords than meets the eye.
Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to, well, Crusader Kings 3 Northern Lords. So Northern Lords flavor pack along with the 1.3 patch that got dropped today on the 16th of March 2021. That was announced, of course, previously at the Paradox Insider event. Kind of a surprise that it happened so quickly, but really, if you look at all the dev diaries, it's really been leading up to this event. So we're here, you know, you look at dueling systems, you look at poetry, which was a big deal for the Norse, as well as, of course, winter. Well, there was a lot of speculation about which direction this could all go, and it has gone towards the Northmen and the Norse, which also now explains why Crusader Kings 3 decided to promote my Vikings guide. If you haven't checked that out, link is here on the channel, or the video's on the channel. I will put the link here at the top. So, this also explains why last week I didn't do any Crusader Kings 3 content on the channel aside from Tuesday, because Paradox was kind enough to send me this early so I could kind of check it out. The problem is, I loaded it up and put it in the game, of course, and that altered certain things, as well as certain look and feel of fonts and the way players or characters look. And you probably would have noticed that with Al-Andalus, where it's like, oh, they look a little different. Why do they look different? Why is there slightly different background music all of a sudden? Well, you know, I just didn't want to give any of those mechanics away. So that's why last week it was pretty much Imperator Rome week, and now we'll play a little bit of catch-up with Al-Andalus. But I hope you will forgive me. But this one I'm really excited about. So there are a number of changes. Now, I'm not going to go through everything that we already talked about in the dev diaries. If you want to check out the major 3 big parts of the free upgrade, those are all in the dev diary videos that I will link here in the video. As a playlist, so you can check those out, and that'll go into depth there. But of course, there are things that have been added here specifically for the Norse, and I started here with Sigurd's Snake in the Eye, and the first thing you'll see, he did not have this helmet when I started. I decided to click on raiding just to see how things go, and bam, Sigurd with a wonderful helmet. And the first thing you'll notice here, if you open the barbershop, there are, well, a few more things you can choose from for a Norseman, whether it's also headwear, Viking caps, and so on. A huge amount of variety of hairstyles and beards and cloaks you can add on to this whole thing. We're just going to stay with the standard, but as you can see, that is one thing. And then we kind of talked about that in one of the dev diaries as well. But there are also other decisions you can make specific to the Norse. Another thing is there is additional artwork in the game. Let me scroll in here and show you. There you can see it already here, right here. Viking Longships are now a thing in the game and represented nicely. That's a fantastic addition. I also feel like there have been some changes as far as the artwork for the individual holdings here. I do not remember those previously. So they've upgraded those a little bit, which is really nice. They've also made some changes as far as artwork goes. Actually 3D models on the map in the form of holdings, ships, of course, and units. I think I've got a unit landing here to the south. You can kind of see these guys here. Let me just unpause it real quick. You can see them landing here. I'm not really doing anything, but just kind of showing you what they look like. So that's kind of a cool little addition there cosmetically. So, adventurers. Norse characters can now become an adventurer. This is a big one that's in as part of this. Now, this is part of the Northern Lords flavor pack that you will have to buy. But you can find it on Steam or on my Nexus GG store. Link in the description there as well. So they can become adventurers. Such characters will build a private warband and seek out foreign lands to conquer. Other rulers can also offer land to adventurers in exchange for a vassal relationship. Thinking of historical Rollo in West Francia. I mean, he was given land to basically, hey, don't hurt us. Here's some land, and there you go with Normandy. AI adventurers will prioritize the historic targets of Norse settlement and conquest. Iceland, the British Isles, the Eastern Baltic, and so on. But no one is entirely safe from a Viking prince with a band of loyal followers. Of course, this also goes into the Mediterranean and Northern Africa, Iberia, Italy, and so forth. But it's a lot of great addition there. Now, you have a new mechanic in the settings where it'll show how often Scandinavian adventures spawn, whether rarely or occasional occasional or frequent. Those are the two options you have if you're playing an Iron Man. So frequent is once every 5 years, and occasional is once every 10 years. I played around with it in frequent, and it was just, I played it as non-Norse just to see what it's like, and it's really annoying. So going more with every 10 years, it's more my style, but if you just want chaos in 867, which is not bereft of chaos, then, man, go for it. So we also have new innovations, as well as new legacies. So we have adventure, pillage, and reworked legacy system overall. Let's go down here, and you can look at different innovations that we have. We've got some quilted armor put in here. I'm not entirely sure. Plenary assemblies might be here. Viking tactics, longships, herds, Varangian adventurers. So there are West African canoes. It's kind of interesting. But there are a few new innovations that you can add there. Nothing really much going on here as far as faith goes. And if we look at open Dynasty Legacies, let's open Legacies here. So we've got a few more here in pillage as an example. Added that. Sea wolves, always space in the hold. So this gives you army loot capacity of plus 50%. If you are raiders, that's huge. Practice kidnappers, so gold from ransom goes up 50%. 50%. That's huge. If you happen to capture someone for ransom, a king or whatever, and it's worth 200, you're getting another 50% on top, making a killing. So the enemy casualties go up 10% and gain gold from battles, 5 gold per 100 fatal casualties. No quarter as daily siege progresses, plus 25%. Sea Wolves here gives you an extra prowess bonus, and naval speed goes up, and prestige and fame from battles goes up, plus 100%. This is huge. Adventure. So you've got Wanderlust, diplomatic range goes up 30%. Send to the Varangian Guard is part of that. Gift givers. So send gift cost goes down by 50%. These are huge, huge modifiers. Seduction scheme success goes up 15%. Prestige for successful seduction schemes. Strange gods, we've got different faith opinion plus 15. Faith popular opinion minus 50%. Faith conversion cost minus 50%. Dynasty member demand conversion acceptance plus 50. Veteran explorers is enemy hostile scheme success chance down 15%. Movement speed up 10%. Supply duration plus 100%. And then decentralized rule. Can use the befriend scheme on vassals. Each of your friend relations give you 3 vassal opinion, 2 popular opinion, and plus 1% in vassal tax contribution, which does make a difference. So there you have all of those. Then there are a few other things specific to decisions now for the Norse. Okay? So what else do we have here? We can secure the kingdom of the North Sea. So you can see here, excuse me. So there are new ones here that'll get you England, Denmark, Norway. So it's Kingdom of the North Sea is one. Then another one, let me just go through my notes here real quick. So you can found the capital of the Rus. And the other one that I love here, you can found or forge the Joms Vikings. So the old ways are dying daily. Abrahamics lure away our small folk with promises of eternal life for all. Our adventurers and colonists adopt foreign gods wherever they land, and even reformists within Scandinavia want to make us more like the peoples of Cross and Moon. No more. All loyal Asatruans must band together to guard against change and blasphemy. So this is a new holy order, the Jons Vikings. Very, very cool. Then you can hold a grand blot. So it is high time that all Shellant comes together to make sacrifice to the gods. These rituals not only bind the faithful together, they confirm my place as Jarl of all land. So you can call in a blot. On top of that, you can raise the rune stones. So this gives you 250 piety and 350 prestige. This is huge. It's customary among the Norse to erect carved monuments to commemorate important events, the death of a loved one, the settling of a dispute, the acquisition of land, and so on. Perhaps I could benefit from such a rock. So that is a big one in there. Then another one to talk about here, and that is you can actually make shield maidens. That's an addition. You can hold the blots. You can select a personal deity. So, dedicate your worship to a specific god. Now you have become a devotee of Odin, so your intrigue goes +2 and a piety per dread of plus 0.03 per month. You can become a devotee of Tyre, which gives you a +2 in learning and diplomacy, and +2 in martial. You become a devotee of Thor, which gives you stewardship +2 and prowess +3. That's a big one right there. I like Thor. And devotee of Freyr, which gives you a fertility +25%, control growth of +0.01 per month. So if we pick somebody, let's go with Thor, and there you have done that. Let's see, what else? You can now do the trials by combat system. So this is based off the dueling system that we talked about in the last dev diary, so go check that out. Now you have trials by combat. Additionally, you have berserkers and traveling mystics will pass through your court. Yeah, so that's kind of the main thing. So a lot of flavor around the Norse, and I, for one, am all for that. This is, in general, a lot of people's one of their favorite time periods to play, and this has added so much flavor to 867 that I'll be honest, I'm a bit of an 867 downer, okay? So there's, I can already create a duchy. Anyway, don't get distracted, Realm Builder, don't get distracted. I've always been a little bit of a downer on 867 versus 1066 because of Border Gore. And I felt like flavor-wise, it's basically the same thing. Yes, you have Vikings in 867, but, fine. That didn't really do it for me to sway me to start an 867 campaign. Honestly, now, this is the time period that I want to delve deeper into. I will be doing that also in guides. The other thing you can see right away, there are some changes to the map. There's a few more impassable territory, if I think of Iceland up here. This was all just split half. Now you have strategic choke points you have to deal with a mountain range in the middle of Iceland. Now, of course, there were also other additions to the map that we spoke about in the dev diary, specific here to Ireland, kind of breaking that up a little bit more, and down in Italy as well. So there are more counties, more baronies. There's just more territory to go around, which makes it a little bit more intriguing. Now, I haven't really played around enough with it to delve into the adventurers and what that all means, but that's something I feel like is maybe open for a guide in the future, but something you should just discover for yourself. To me now, and I love the new art of the holdings, of the ships, the new flags that come with everything. This is great. This is the first real flavor pack Now, this isn't a full-on, I mean, they're calling it a flavor pack, not a DLC, because it doesn't change dramatic mechanics. It adds some things, it obviously adds the flavor. The key mechanical additions, map changes, and so on, those are all part of the free 1.3 patch anyway. But the additional music, the additional mechanics you have for the Norse, as well as just the artwork, I mean, the ships and the dudes, yeah, it's worth it. In my opinion, this is something to buy. And what I'm thankful for, I mean, if we look at the longevity of Paradox titles, and Crusader Kings 3 will be no different, I mean, this will be around for quite a number of years. You know, I mean, you think about how long we had CK2. So if you look at Crusader Kings 3 and say it's a 5, 6, 7, 8 year lifespan of a game, aside from major DLCs like, you know, Merchant Republics, Trade, adding these flavor packs, or maybe adding, you know, China and Japan, anyway, these flavor packs to certain geographic areas, it's fantastic. I really hope they do this in Central Asia and focus on the Mongols and that kind of East Asia quadrant next. But going with Vikings first, which is one of the most popular topics over the last few years in general, and you just look at the success of Valheim, which is a really fun game that I recommend everybody play. You don't need a super beefy computer for that. But anyway, this makes sense. I love it. I will be playing in 867. Now, I have Al-Andalus here on the channel that I will continue doing, but maybe something like this is something that I then bring to Twitch whenever I do maybe start streaming. But anyway, that's kind of it for the overview. My opinion is, you know, 5 longships, 5 out of 5 longships for this one. Definitely get it. It's worth it. It's not overly expensive. Go check it out, whether it's on my Nexus GG store, link in the description, or directly through Steam, or however else you want to get it. I highly recommend getting it. It adds so much flavor and depth to the game, especially in the 867 start, which a lot of people really, really like. So, if you enjoyed this, if this is something you want, please hit that like button and subscribe to not miss anything on the channel. Check out the links down in the description and let me know in the comments what you think of the Northern Lords flavor pack. Is this something you will add? Maybe you already have added it by the time you see this video. Let me know down below. And until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.